They told me I was too broken to attend my own father's funeral, said my scars would upset the guests, that my wheelchair would ruin the family photos. I stayed home like they asked. But when I saw what they did with Dad's will, I realized the biggest scar wasn't on my body. It was the one they'd been carving into my heart my entire life. And this time, I wasn't going to let them get away with it. My name is Caroline Mitchell, and I've been invisible my whole life. Even though I'm the oldest. People see me now and they notice the wheelchair first. The thin frame. The burn scars that run like rivers down my left arm and neck, twisting the skin into patterns that make strangers look away. They see someone fragile, someone to pity. But what they don't see is the fighter underneath. The girl who survived a house fire at 16. The woman who rebuilt herself when no one thought she could. My younger sister, Margot, has always been the shining star. Blonde hair that catches light like it's been staged, a smile people trust instantly, and a law degree from an Ivy League school that our parents framed and hung in the living room like a trophy. Margot never had to fight for attention. She was born with it. Growing up, I learned early that love in the Mitchell household was conditional. It wasn't spoken out loud, but it was there in every choice, every glance, every family portrait where I was conveniently too sick to join. After the fire, after months in the hospital, after learning I'd never walk the same way again, I came home expecting my family to see me differently, to see me as strong, as a survivor. Instead, they saw me as an embarrassment. Mom started making excuses. Caroline's recovering became her favorite line whenever relatives asked why I wasn't at dinners, weddings, holiday parties. Dad would nod along, his face tight, uncomfortable. Margot didn't even pretend. She just stopped inviting me to things altogether. I told myself it was okay, that I didn't need their approval. I finished college online, got a job as a freelance graphic designer, and built a small life in the guest house behind my parents' property. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. I had my work, my books, my quiet routines. I convinced myself I was fine. But deep down, I was still waiting. Waiting for them to see me again. Dad got sick in early March. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. The doctors gave him 6 months, maybe less. I wanted to be there for him, to sit by his bedside, to hold his hand the way I'd imagined doing when I was younger. But Mom made it clear that my presence stressed him out. "You know how your father is," she said over the phone, her voice clipped and efficient. "He doesn't like to be reminded of difficult things." Difficult things. She meant me. So I stayed in the guest house, sending texts that went unanswered, leaving voicemails that were never returned. Margot posted photos on social media. Her and Mom flanking Dad in his hospital bed. All of them smiling like they were on a vacation instead of facing death. The captions were full of love and gratitude and strength. I wasn't in a single one. Dad passed away on a Tuesday morning. I found out 3 hours later when a cousin texted me condolences. No one from my immediate family had bothered to call. The funeral was set for that Saturday. I assumed I'd be included. I picked out a black dress, practiced transferring from my wheelchair to a regular chair in case they wanted me to sit in the front row. I wanted to be ready. I wanted to show them I could do this, that I could be part of the family again. Even if just for one day. Friday night, Mom called. "Caroline, we need to talk." Her tone made my stomach drop. I gripped the phone tighter. "What's wrong?" "It's about the funeral." She paused, and I could hear Margot's voice in the background, low and insistent. "We've decided it's best if you don't attend." The words hit me like cold water. "What?" "It's going to be a very public event," Mom continued, her voice maddeningly calm. "Your father had a lot of colleagues, a lot of important people who'll be there. We just think your presence might be distracting." Distracting. I repeated the word like it was a foreign language. "You know what I mean, Caroline. The wheelchair, the scars. People will ask questions. It'll take attention away from your father's memory. We just want things to go smoothly." My hands were shaking. He's my father too. And we're thinking of what's best for everyone. Margot agrees. She thinks it's better this way. Of course she did. I should have fought. I should have screamed. Demanded my right to say goodbye. But I didn't. I just said, "Okay," and hung up. Then I sat in the dark and cried until my throat burned and my chest ached. I didn't go to the funeral. I watched from my window as cars lined the street, as people in black streamed into the church down the road. I saw Mom and Margot standing at the entrance, greeting guests with graceful sorrow, playing their roles perfectly. And I hated myself for letting them win. A week after the funeral, I got a call from a lawyer I didn't know. Ms. Mitchell? My name is David Brennan. I'm handling your father's estate. There's been a development. I think you should come to my office. I almost said no. Almost told him to mail me whatever paperwork I needed to sign. But something in his voice stopped me. A hesitation. A carefulness. What kind of development? I asked. It's better if we discuss this in person. Can you come in tomorrow? The law office was on the third floor of a building downtown, accessible only by a narrow elevator that smelled like old carpet. Mr. Brennan met me in the lobby, a middle-aged man with kind eyes and a firm handshake. Thank you for coming, he said, guiding me into a small conference room. I'll get right to it. Your father updated his will 2 months before he passed. I nodded slowly. Okay. In the original will, everything was split evenly between you and your sister. The house, the savings, the investment accounts. 50-50. My heart started to race. And now, Mr. Brennan slid a folder across the table. Now your sister is listed as the sole beneficiary. The will was changed to exclude you entirely. The room tilted. I stared at the papers, the words blurring together. That's not possible. Dad wouldn't. There's more. Mr. Brennan's voice was gentle, but firm. The signatures on the amended will don't match your father's handwriting. I've compared them to previous documents. They're close but not identical. My breath caught. What are you saying? I'm saying someone forged your father's signature. And I believe it was your sister. The world fell away. I sat there, staring at the papers, my mind struggling to process what I was hearing. Margot had forged Dad's will. She'd erased me completely, taken everything, and thought she'd get away with it. What do I do? I whispered. Mr. Brennan leaned forward. We can contest this. It'll take time, and it won't be easy, but we have grounds. I've already flagged the discrepancies with the probate court. I nodded, my hands trembling. Do it. When Margot found out I was contesting the will, she showed up at my door the next evening. She didn't knock. She just walked in, her face twisted with fury. You're really going to do this? She snapped. Drag this family through court? Embarrass us even more than you already have. I stared at her, this stranger wearing my sister's face. You forged Dad's signature. I did what was necessary. Her voice was cold, clinical. You don't understand the pressure I've been under. The money, the estate, it's complicated. You wouldn't know how to manage it. So you just took it? Erased me like I never existed. She crossed her arms. You've been erased for years, Caroline. We just made it official. The words should have broken me, but instead they did something else. They cleared the fog I'd been living in, the desperate hope that maybe, someday, my family would love me the way I'd always loved them. Get out, I said quietly. Excuse me. Get out of my house. My voice was steady now, strong. And don't come back. Margot's face flushed. You'll regret this. No, I said. I regret not doing it sooner. The court case took 4 months. 4 months of depositions, handwriting analysts, and testimonies. Margot fought hard, hired expensive lawyers, played the grieving daughter card at every turn. But the evidence was too strong. The signatures didn't match. The timeline didn't add up. And when Mr. Brennan presented Dad's medical records showing he was heavily sedated during the time the will was supposedly changed, the case collapsed. The judge ruled in my favor. The forged will was thrown out, and the original was reinstated. Everything Dad had left behind was split evenly, just like he'd wanted. Margot didn't show up to the final hearing. Neither did Mom. I sold the main house 6 months later. I didn't need it, didn't want the memories. With my half of the inheritance, I bought a small accessible home near the coast, a place with ramps and wide doorways and windows that let in the kind of light that makes you feel alive. I started a nonprofit for burn survivors, offering free graphic design services to people rebuilding their lives. The work filled me in ways I didn't know I needed. Margot tried to reach out once, a short email that said, "We should talk." I deleted it without responding. Mom sent a Christmas card last year. I didn't open it. Some people think I should forgive them, that family is family no matter what. But I've learned something important. Family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up, who sees you, who fights for you when the world tries to make you disappear. And my family? They stopped being mine the moment they decided I wasn't worth a seat at the table. Now I have my own table, and every single person sitting at it chose to be there. If you've ever been erased by the people who were supposed to love you most, know this. Your worth isn't defined by their blindness. You are not too much, too broken, too difficult. You are enough, exactly as you are. Rebuild, rise, and never let anyone make you invisible again.